Like a warm welcome to all our viewers on behalf of myself,
It's
Parijata
gonna be
Devidas,
different if I go this way. You have to come this way.
and also owner of the Discount Communications Ministry, and also a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the strategic planning team into this cooking session with Radhavallabha Prabhu preparing a home feast under 60 minutes. So, a lot of you would know that this is actually part two of a session that we had earlier when we actually spoke about the menu, the preparation, and the ingredients. And out of all of the three, what's really important and relevant is preparing the ingredients and also preparing our mind and our consciousness. And that is something what we spoke about in our last session, where we talked about how to prepare our mind, the mind of the cook, the consciousness, because we are actually preparing this feast for the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. And that's why it's so important to be supremely prepared in our minds, in our kitchens, with our family, in making this offering for the Lord. Actually, I would guess that a lot of us would actually have been at our respective temples during Janmashtami night, but as it is with most of our temples due to lockdown, a lot of devotees would be celebrating Janmashtami at home. And that is why the GBC SPT is actually bringing you this special session where you can bring your attention, your focus, your consciousness, and your family together to cook this very special feast for Lord Krishna. We would also want to remind our viewers that this special feast that we are preparing is actually for the honor and the pleasure of Lord Krishna. As many of you would know that devotees of Lord Krishna, Vaishnavas, who fast for Janmashtami actually break their fast at midnight with non-grain items. So all what we are preparing today actually is grains, and after we offer it to Krishna at midnight, we can actually partake the prasad the next day afternoon of the Nanda Utsav. So we request devotees that this feast is for Krishna. If you need to honor prasad, you can definitely, choose one of the simple Ekadashi preparations. And you can honor the prasad that you are offering to Krishna the next day after Nandotsav. Now, I would also want to take this opportunity to welcome Radhavallabha Prabhu and his wife Hansapriya Devidasi. A warm welcome to both of you on our show. We're very happy to have you here, and I think a lot of devotees here are so excited because today we are getting right into the thing that is preparing all our offerings, and I'm not going to take much of the time. We have 60 minutes, so you can share with us, what are you preparing and in what order, and we start now. Thank you. Welcome, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening, Prabhu. So we'll start in few minutes, when it's 1 or 2 minutes. Just before we start, we offer prayers to Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, and take blessings of Radha Gopinath, Radha Rasbihari, Radha Madhav, whichever deity we worship, and take their blessings. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swami Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyamadi Paschadistarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Padayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Vishay Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Panta Radha Panta Namastate तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभाम सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome. So this is our Janmashtami feast. As we discussed last time, we should keep all the right things prepared and ready. And with the blessings of devotees, Vaishnavas, and Sri Radha Krishna, we'll start our Janmashtami cooking. So we have 5 course. Our time starts now. You can note it now. It is 7:07 here. Probably 7:37 in India. So we'll start now. So what I'm saying is today we have five items. First we'll put the cake for baking, the pie for the baking, then we'll make pulao, then we'll make chole, then we'll make dal, and then we'll make pakodas. So we have five items: cake, pulao, chole, dal, pakoda. Five items. So in the first, I'll ask Hansupriya to start the making of pie. But before she starts, I'll just put ghee for heating to make the pulao. Just remember, I'm putting ghee to heat for pulao, very low flame. I will put a tablespoon of ghee. I take here, and Prabhu, can you please put this camera, please? This is around 2 tablespoons of ghee. Here it goes. 2 tablespoons of ghee is I'm heating at low flame to make the tasty
Prabhu,
pulao.
if that camera is off at the moment, Prabhu, if you can reactivate it on StreamYard.
Oh, really? Okay. Try again.
Can I go ahead and start again?
Yeah. No, no, wait. It's not connecting. I'll go again. Okay. I would ask Hansupriya to start. You can use this camera, Prabhu.
Okay, so Hare Krishna, welcome. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the flax seeds, pour it in a bowl, and then add some water, which is a half a cup of water, and we're going to add it, mix it gently, let it sit there, and we're just going to come back and let it sit, and meanwhile we're going to come and set up our pear. So basically you have cut up all the 4 pears, so just decorate it very nicely. And if you, while cutting, you find some pears are not soft and it's a little harder, in that case, what you can do is you can go ahead and take the harder one first and lay it out in a pan and just make it a nice, like a flower pattern on your baking tray. And if you think that some pears are thicker and some are very thin, so I would recommend that you use up the thick ones on the bottom of the tray, and then you can go ahead and put the thinner ones, so that way it bakes faster. So this is called pear custard pie. Um, some people call it lighter part of the cake. That's why it's so confusing. Is it a pie or a cake? However, we eat the prasadam, and we have, being a devotee, we've been blessed, not just a 1 course meal or 2 course meal. It's not like super salad, but
Yeah, good. Go ahead.
it's more than like a 4 or 5 course of meal. So if you have like a bun cake or a dense cake, decadent cake, it's so hard to digest. So this is something that I found. It's so wonderful, light, and also it can be digested by all age, and also beautifully artistic presentation of the dessert. So I personally like to make this one, and I do this with different fruits as well. I can do with pear, peaches, apples. You can. I haven't tried it with any other fruits, but you can experiment. So when you feel like you want to have a dessert, but you don't want to have very hard dessert, heavy dessert, so then you can just go ahead and make this pear custard pie. And this is 4 of them. 4 pears are here, and that's it. And I believe I'm just gonna move to my egg replacer, and you can make the egg replacer with many things. You can see this is now flax seeds, has very nicely. I believe the flax seeds in India is called, what is it called?
In Maharashtra, they call it alsi.
Alsi, yes.
Alsi,
Yeah.
but alsi is not.
So you just,
It's not model ignorance though.
that's good.
Okay.
So you take this half a cup.
Using a
I
hand
think
sake.
it's in the measurement, but I just approximately took around 1/4 cup of ghee because I'm trying to make a hinsa. And then I'm going to take 3/4 cup of milk. Keep going. And then you can add your 1/2 cup of sugar and white flour. And whisk. I'm sorry? Okay, and I have a pinch of salt in here. Anything dessert I put pinch of salt. That enhances it. And then I'm going to add around 2 teaspoons of vanilla. That's it. And then we're going to take our hand blender and it's called immersion blender also. And then you pour it in your pear and you bake it. And that's it. So let me go ahead and it's going to be a little loud. So bear with me, please.
The microphone is on.
All right. I think it's good. All right. See how now there's no lumps here, and I'm going to pour it out evenly in your pot pear. And I also like when I'm baking, I always like my spatula. Like Pujari likes that blue tab. While cooking, I like my spatula. It's the key to everything. Clean up, no waste. All right. And then now you shake it up evenly. And Sri Radhe. Let's bake it for 350 degrees. I don't know what that's in Fahrenheit.
Put it inside.
Right. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to set up the timer because if you're making multiple things, you don't want to make sure that you don't burn it. And I will clean as we go. All right, throw that to you.
Yeah. So we have this is vegetable pulao. Can you see over here? Okay, and we will move here like this. That's good. So these are the vegetables for the pulao. This is ghee heating in my I'll raise the fire now. And we have our spice dabba here. And I have these whole spices as not the chili, except the chili. We have clove, bay leaves, and cinnamon. So I'm keeping a medium fire, not very high. I'll just break the atmosphere that you can give me. So these cinnamons in US are very strong and hard. So I just take this and so when you break down the cinnamons, the flavor comes out very nicely. So this is around this much of cinnamon I'm adding. More. These whole spices gives a nice flavor and aroma. Make sure the temperature is not smoky high. Just a little bit so that it slowly simmers and the flavors comes out. And here are the cloves. I've taken out the flour from the top. The flour is not good. It may create some strong flavor and smell. And this is the clove I'm adding. Not too many, not too less. Here is one flour I remove it. This is how we remove the flour. Okay, and again bay leaves. I'm taking 2 bay leaves. I'm going to start make it together and put it here. And here I have a spoon. Take a stir. Now I increase the fire. And I'm adding the cumin. around 2 psp of cumin. Actually, I'm adding a little extra. This spoon is a little smaller than a teaspoon. So here we go. This is fine. So I have eaten this cumin, little bay leaf, cinnamon, and clove. That's all. Simple spices. I'm waiting for it to hit. Now these vegetables, you see, they're cut not too large and not too small. If it is too large, then it will not cook nicely and it will create a problem. If it's too small, it will melt away to the pulao. This is the size I have cut. Around whatever measurement I have given, same quantity is here. I just chop them, wash them, and keep them together here. So now this is smoky color is coming. I add all the vegetables. Here I have keeping water for boiling for the pulao. You may see a lot of vegetables here, but they will actually they will sink down. So don't worry about it.
Sorry.
1 cup rice. 1 cup basmati rice. So as this is cooking, I'll request Sanskrit to wash the basmati rice. So now I'll cover it with a lid.
I do need it. I do need a rice container.
Huh?
Rice container.
Okay.
Ah.
Which one? This one. Ah, here. This is basmati.
Okay, I get it. Perfect. Thank you.
This is not.
1 cup of rice, right?
Yeah, 1 cup. So the important thing is you need to stir it time to time, otherwise it will burn. So what I'll do, I'll add the salt now to this vegetable. If you want to add some nuts in the pulao, some people do, and I also do, you can add cashew nuts just before the vegetable and allow it to simmer to become brownish. Otherwise, there is, if you don't add it, the vegetable goes straight. Now I'll add the salt. It's your salt a spoon. Add it. So I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt. So this will be around. Right now I've added 1 teaspoon of salt. We will see if we need more salt, we'll add more. Just remember, if you're cooking any item, that product is 1 liter. So 1 liter of dal, or 1 liter of chole, 1 liter of khichdi, or 1 liter of pulao. Any product that comes out 1 liter at the end requires 1 teaspoon of salt. I just want to know whether I'm audible or not. That's why I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So here in this button and this lid, you see there's a big hole here. So I need to block it because a lot of steam will go out from here. So just take some little vegetable paste and block it. Okay, got it. So here is a small piece of vegetable. I'll just sharpen it a little bit and try to block it. Yeah. Good.
There's your rice. Wash and rinse.
Thank you. Good. So while this is cooking, I'll start. This is chole boiling for 1 hour. I'll just take it out from here. I'll keep it here. Always keep the handles away from the stove so that it doesn't get hits up. छोले का pot कहाँ है इसके? रखा तो नहीं था. Okay. So this is a little thick button pot here, and I'm going to make chole in this. I'll add ghee.
So that's around 2 tablespoons of.
No, this is around 3.5 tablespoons.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Put it on. So I'll bring the dabba here, and we will take the tadka. So this is around 2 cups of tomatoes, and we have spice dabba here ready. So what I will do in chole, I will make a tomato paste, and in tomato paste I'll be adding some powdered spices, and then chole in the end, then herbs. So there are a few steps. So when ghee is hot, we first add always whole spices. Whole spices should crack open and release that aroma. In this case, only cumin. Then we add asafoetida, because asafoetida is a tree sap. It takes time to cook, so that is added next. Then we add the white spices like ginger, for example. Now in chole, we require a lot of ginger because chole is difficult to digest. You have to cook it more, and you have to put ginger so that it hits up, it balances the water, the air element in the chole. So that's the plan. So we have whole spices, we have asafoetida, we have white spices like ginger, then goes tomatoes, then goes the powdered spices like turmeric, cumin powder, coriander powder. I hope it's clear. So before I start, I'll give it this a star again. Sabji. Oh, that's hello. Can you cut it like this instead of this sound so that I can put it on the cover? In my case, here you can try.
Probably this one up here.
So this is getting cooked. I don't want to overcook it, but little more tender so that ghee absorbs into the vegetable a little bit. Then I'll add hot water, which is ready here, and then we'll put the spices in the rice. Okay. So here we go, a little slow. It is heating now. You can see. Sometimes the smoke comes from the side of the pot. You should not get worried that it is heating up too much. Harshwa, can you bring the camera?
Yes.
Yes, please. So you see how the cumins are cracking open? This is important. They should crack open, not burn, but crack open nicely. Then the aroma and the taste comes out very nicely. Now, I slow down the fire now because it will heat up too much. Now I'm adding asafoetida. So asafoetida is also counteract the the air element in the body. So therefore, this little extra asafoetida is required. Of course, depending on the strength of your asafoetida you add. Don't add too much, but don't add less also. And as I said, next is ginger. And this is good quantity. So for 1 cup of chole, almost 3 tablespoons of ginger, chopped ginger I'm adding. Okay. Now after adding ginger, you can raise the fire. You can slow the fire. Right here. Let's go a little down. Let's slow the fire. Let's go. Stay away from the fire. Camera doesn't stop. Camera hits up, it will stop. Okay, you can go right there. Done. Right. So the ginger we're cooking, it will turn brownish. Till that time, I will wait. While this is happening, I will add the rice to the pulao. So first as I said, the dry spices goes after the wet vegetables. So I'll add some cumin powder, coriander powder here. This is the cumin powder. So the ginger has to cook nicely for the chole. It has to turn brownish, otherwise the raw flavor of ginger will stay, which is not good. Also make sure the asafoetida is also well cooked. If the asafoetida is not cooked, that will also remain a raw flavor in the chole, which is not good. So I have the cumin powder here. I'm putting 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, and I'm putting 2 teaspoon of coriander powder. Double. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Of course, this is half teaspoon, so 4 is 2. So now I stir it, and I'll add little turmeric. Don't add too much turmeric uh, for the pulao. Too much turmeric, then it will be dark yellow, right? We don't want such dark yellow color. Turmeric is very good for health. It is antiseptic, antibiotic, and so many good properties. Unlimited. You can find it on the net very easily. And so I've added the turmeric. Again, turmeric is added after the wet vegetable is getting cooked, so that it doesn't burn. At the same time, releases its aroma nicely to the sabji. Nice. Okay. Now what I do, I'll take 2 cups of water, because you're taking 1 cup of rice. You take 2 cups of water, and you take this one, glass one.
Water?
No, that cup, that glass cup, measurement cup.
Yeah, what would you like in
I need it for hot water.
Okay.
So just wash it water. So now the ginger is getting cooked. So I will add the tomato here. Here. You hear the sound? That sound is important. That means the oil is ready. It is hot. So I was searching for amla powder. As I said, the chole amritsari is little blackish in color. Some people put tea. Of course, you devotees who don't drink tea, so how can you think of even putting tea in a preparation? You will offer to the Lord. So amla is a very good substitute. Here is this part is here. So here is boiling hot water. So I'm taking 2 cups.
You mentioned we couldn't find the fresh peas in the market.
Yeah, we couldn't find the fresh piece, so we are using frozen piece, which we will be adding now. If it was fresh piece, I would have added immediately. Because of COVID and other things, I don't know. We could not find fresh piece. I would not use frozen piece so much, but here, just for demonstration, I'm using some piece here. And I put it full flame. And now I'll add little pulao masala. So here is, can you give me pulao masala and spray? Yeah, but so. This is optional. Those who are in the Western world, those who don't have access to this thing, this is fine. Cumin powder, coriander powder, whole spices is good enough. It is good enough. There is no need. But for feast and all, we need to add a little bit of this so that we get a better flavor. And this is. Am I there?
No, I just moved the tomatoes out of the bowl.
Okay, that's no problem. You take care. So here I'm adding. This is 1.5 teaspoon. Those are in the West, when they reduce it to say half a teaspoon, I mean maximum 1 teaspoon, but not more. So I have added half teaspoon. Already I have added 1 teaspoon of salt, and this will be nearly 2 liters of products. So I will add 1 more teaspoon of salt here and finish the business of salt for pulao. Okay, full flame. Now fire is full, but I want the water to boil nicely. 1. So there is 2 teaspoons of salt here. And for pulao, as for chole, also I'm adding 1 teaspoon. Always add 1 teaspoon in advance and don't change it. Then you know you have always add. If you keep changing, instead of 1 teaspoon, say half teaspoon or 3 teaspoon for different items, you forget. So better to keep a standard 1 teaspoon in the beginning, then adjust with other. Salt is required in the tomatoes because the water will come out and cook nicely in the ghee. This is very important. The tomato has to cook very nicely in the ghee. So here we go, and I'll cover it with the lid here and allow the water to boil and wait. So while this is happening, I'll take this out here. And we'll start making the dal tadka. Okay, so what I will do, I'll take the this is our chole. So I move the pulao to here, and this is for the dal tadka. No, not this one. I need a bigger one.
This one?
Bigger one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay, this is good, Mr. This is good.
Okay.
Fire full. So in dal tadka, there will be
I don't know.
two stages. Can you hear me? Prabhu, are we online? Prabhu, are we online?
No, something went wrong. Try again.
Disconnected.
Prabhu, we can hear you. It's just your one camera has gone offline again. If you can get it back online.
Yeah. Prabhu, we'll stop that. We'll use this. And Supriya will hold this. So let us forget the other camera. It's going off again and again. Okay. So here is our chole tadka cooking. Yeah, it's visible. So don't come so close. The idea is cook it so much that the tomato cooks so well, and the oil or ghee it comes out back. Then you start cooking and making tomato very tasteful. So therefore we'll wait for that point. It is not very high flame, not very low flame. Just somewhere in between, it is cooking steadily. Okay, here the pot is for dal tadka. I will explain. I'll come back to this again. This is heating for dal. This is a cast iron pot heating for dal tadka. Okay, here our water is boiling for pulao. You can see. And I'll add the rice now. Sri Radhe. Everything is there. Rice. I mean, the spices, the water quantity, everything is measured, and the vegetables, the spices, everything is there. I have to just bring it back to a boil. After bringing back to a boil, I have to just steam it. So now, very important thing is that your rice needs to be stirred very nicely. If you don't stir the rice nicely, then it will become lumpy, and we don't like it, right?
And don't break it also.
And while stirring also you have to take care so that you don't break the rice grains. Okay. So here I have mixed it nicely. I don't think there is any lumps. Then I'll wait for it to come back to a boil. Then I'll slow down the fire. So while this is happening, here is my pot is heating for dal tadka. So here I take nearly a tablespoon of ghee, a little more than a tablespoon of ghee. Okay, and I will make dal tadka in two stages. First, what is it is called is a tomato paste. Make a tomato paste, cook it. Then on the top of that, we put another tadka. That is called dal tadka. So next tadka I will show you later. So now we are just trying to make the tomato paste for the dal. Okay. So in the meantime, I'll show you the chole that we have cooked. This is just 1 cup of chole. It is swelled up to so much you can see. And I need a spoon here. And I'll just take out this and see how much it is cooked. See, it is cooked very nicely. It is soft and tender. Okay. And it is done. It is cooked for 1 hour, by the way. We bring it to one boil, then cook it for 1 hour. Now, I have to wait for this to get cooked. In the meantime, because it cooked under pressurized, I will start the fire on the back stove. Can I get a lighter, please? See now, okay. So I'll allow it to boil again. This takes time to heat up, this cast iron, but it cooks very well. In the meantime, our pulao is getting boiled, so I'll wait for that. So this tomato cooking is very, again, let me repeat, this tomato cooking is very important. The oil should come out, and then we'll add the powder spices and cook them together. Then add the chole, then the herbs. Yeah, paneer is also there. So what we did yesterday, we made paneer out of milk. This is around 1 liter of ahimsa milk. We get it here, and we make our own paneer. This is very soft, tender, and nice. So in some of my programs, some of my videos on my YouTube or so mostly Facebook and Instagram, I post many items. So there I will show you how to make paneer nicely, because limited time I can't show everything here. So you please follow me on Facebook and other places, Instagram, and my website www.yoginet.com, and you'll find all these things how I make to make best soft paneer. You'll find the way out. Now this he is heating up here. So we have our spice dabba.
Prabhu, just one question, quickly, if you don't mind. There's one question: how long should the pie bake for?
It's a 40 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
If your oven is super fast, like conventional oven, then you probably want to put timer for 30 minutes and then look for like little golden brown.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now I go back to the dal tadka tomato paste. So here I'm putting cumin. See, it has to crack open. That's important. I hope you can hear the sound. You need to stir time to time this tomato paste, otherwise it may stick to the bottom. And then some asafoetida. See, this asafoetida is not so strong, therefore I'm adding little extra. Please remember, your asafoetida you should add according to the strength of the asafoetida. Okay, so here I'll wait for the asafoetida to cook. As I said, if it doesn't get cooked, then it will give a bad odor. The water is boiling in rice, so I slow down the fire and 20 minutes. So 740, 15 minutes will be done. 40 plus 15 is 55.
Yeah.
Okay. So here it is. Jagannath Prabhu, can you tell me, Sakshi Gopal Prabhu, can you tell me how much time we are left with? Just for an idea. We have gone just 20 minutes.
We've got another 20 minutes to go.
Okay, good. Thank you. So this potato is cooked. Now I'll add ginger. Not now. Next comment. So now I press the fire to the full. Let the ginger cook nicely. So this tomato is getting cooked. I'm increasing fire so that it cooks in our time, designated time. In the meantime, this is our oil for frying cabbage, and we have our cabbage ready here for making pakodas. So what I will do, I'll add salt to the cabbage now. So that there's a reason why I'm doing it. I'll tell you why. So I'm adding nearly 1 teaspoon of salt to nearly 1.5 cup of cabbage and mixing it nicely. This is for the cabbage pakoda, and I will leave it for some time like this. Okay. Now I get back to my, here it goes. This is nearly 1 cup of tomato. I don't need so much of it. So nearly half a cup, or maybe 3/4 of a cup tomato I'm adding. Okay. And full fire, now full fire. And the last recipe here to partially mash these chickpeas and bring it back to me. Okay.
Can I put your oil back there or
Sorry,
are you putting oil back there?
I'm putting there. In the meantime, I'm putting the oil heating for pakodas here.
Do I keep this water from the chickpea? In the tomato, do I keep the water?
Take out little water. If we keep it, we may need it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Something partly water I'm taking out. And then something is happening here.
So not all, just little smashing, right?
Yeah.
Is this good? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's good. Just stir it.
Okay. Okay. It's ready?
Yeah. We can bring the camera back now. Now I'll add salt to the tomato paste. Again, I'm adding 1 teaspoon.
Any special reason why we are making two chawns for the dal?
And the tadka in the end. Then this is the dal tadka. Just keep it back. The handful of spinach.
Okay.
So in the meantime, also will take out a handful of spinach for the dal. The rice is almost cooked, but I'll wait for 2-3 minutes. And the tomato paste is also cooking nicely. The oil is coming out. Let's roll down the fire now and add the powder spices like the chili powder and the coriander powder.
So you're adding cumin and coriander to
Yeah.
chickpeas, no?
Yeah.
To chole.
Yeah.
Do I chop the spinach?
Huh?
Do I chop the spinach?
No, just because I did coriander powder. It's here. Okay.
Do I chop the spinach?
Yeah.
Radhavallabha Prabhu, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Prabhu. So I just had this one question that you're making two tadkas for the dal. So any special reason why we have two tadkas for the dal?
I will tell that in the end, Mataji. Let me focus now. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Point to be noted. That's all.
okay.
And here I have chana masala. This is MDH chana masala which I'm using today. But Everest MDH and Badsa are good. But if I don't have chana masala, you can use. I'm using 1 teaspoon of chana masala and 1 teaspoon of amla powder. If you don't have chana masala, you can use just little bit of garam masala. But depending on the strength of garam masala, you use. So I'm adding 1 teaspoon of amla powder. Can you get the camera? Let's keep it down now. So here the chana masalas, you can see the paste is cooking a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Sorry. So this chana masala is cooking. You can see the oil is coming out. It has become pasty, and the flavor is coming out nicely. So I'll cook a few minutes more like this. You can bring it here. So this is dal tadka tomato paste. Let it cook very nicely. I have some spinach for the dal, as I said, palak tur dal. So I'll add it towards the end, not now. But it's ready. In the meantime, our rice is ready. You can see it's very well done. I'll just give the stir for you to know. The rice is cooked, and I'll just cover it and leave it for some time. See, the sabjis are breaking nicely. So it is done. So I just take it out and I leave it closed so that it further cooks in the steam. And it is our dal, which is also cooked. Keep it here. And
You can take it.
yeah, this oil is coming out here. Tomato is getting fresh and oil is coming out. I'll cook it more. See, bring it here. You can see the ghee has come out completely. This is important. The ghee has to come out. I hope they're able to see. Yeah, they're able to see. Ghee is coming out. So this is ready. Little blackish also in the color, you can see. Blackish in color. Now I'll add the chole. Sri Radhe. Now, since this is, we have, yeah. This amla powder is not as blackish as I was expecting. So the blackish color has not come completely, but if you have amla with little blackish color, that comes out very nice dark color. Okay, now here our tomato paste is cooking. You can see the oil has come out. Now to this I'll add jeera powder.
Sorry, wobbly.
Cumin powder. Again, 1 teaspoon. And coriander powder, 2 teaspoon. By the way, I have taken 1 cup of tur dal, although I wrote half cup. So accordingly, please reduce the quantity. Yeah, I have taken. Yeah, if I've taken half cup of tur dal, then reduce the quantity. So now I'll add haldi to this. Bit more, tiny bit more. Prabhu, Sakshi Gopal Prabhu, when there is 5 minutes remaining, tell me. Just 5 minutes before, so that I speed up a little bit. Okay. The powder is ready. The paste is ready. You can see the oil ghee has come out. The spices are cooked quickly because they are powder spices. They don't take time to cook. And I just add this to our dal here. Sri Radhe. And give it a stir here. Okay. This is too thick. I'll add little water. I didn't put much water here for 2 reasons. It's it becomes the kitchen become unclean, and because the water will come out of the cooker, and it takes a longer time to cook if you have a lot of water in the dal.
Stove on because you're putting another fire on. I mean another tadka.
Another tadka, yeah. So next tadka for the dal will be now. Here. And the chole is getting ready.
Do you need
I'll
more
slow down
water?
the fire.
I have no water.
I'm increasing the fire for the pakoda, medium to high. I add a little bit of spinach here. And just give it a stir. This spinach will cook with the steam of the dal. It will get cooked in 2 minutes. Don't boil it too much, because if you boil it too much, then the spinach will turn dark and become pasty, and it will not have much of the looks and idea. So now what it is happening, I just take a little bit of hot water because the dal is too thick. I add some hot water here and make a little liquid. I have added 1 teaspoon of salt into this. I may need a little more. That's good consistency for dal tadka. The dal has to cook very nicely.
Okay.
Good. So let it boil, no problem. Let it also heat up a little bit more. So I need curry leaves for the dal tadka. I need red chili, and I need mustard and little cumin, little asafoetida also, very little asafoetida. So in the meantime, I take the cabbage and can you bring it here on screen? I squeeze it hard, and the water comes out. This water makes the pakoda soggy. So I want to get rid of the water. So what I'll do, I'll just take it here and just squeeze the water out. You can see how it is coming out nicely. So another lump. Here it goes. This is around 1.5 cup of chopped cabbage. So this is important how we cut it. All the water is out. Good. So I'll mix the spices and besan and fry it. This is ready. So here we come back. Our mustard, Shiradhe. This has to crack open again, as I said. Oh, did you reduce it?
Yeah, I did because it was hot.
Okay. So now to this cabbage, I'm adding little asafoetida, little turmeric, little cumin powder and coriander powder. These spices are very good, but don't overload them. If you overload them, then it will have a problem. It will make the bitter taste because spices are generally bitter. Okay, the mustard has totally split open. Now add little asafoetida, very little tiny bit.
No cumin.
Cumin, yeah. Cumin already there, so little bit more, that's all.
And curry pasta, that's it?
No. This in dal tadka you need this little bit of chili.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the cumin to crack open. Then make sure the chilies get cooked and swells up nicely. And that's 3 minutes. Curry leaves. Oh, nice flavor coming. And I just take this. Shiradhe. And a little bit more water in the tadka pot. Okay. And then add little. Can you chop the pudina and the cilantro? Yeah. It is getting cooked. Coming out good color. Dal also good color. So I keep them at low flame so that they keep boiling a little bit. And I bring my tadka pakoda pot here. There you go. Chickpea flour on screen. Keep the camera back and chop chole, cilantro and
Mint.
mint. Yeah.
Oops, I think I turned it off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's good. That's good.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you got 5 minutes more.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. So here is, I come back here. I have added, there is no need to add salt anymore. I have added salt. I squeezed out the water. And here is the powder spices, asafoetida, turmeric, and little hing, asafoetida, turmeric, jeera powder, and coriander powder. Now chickpea flour, just enough to bind it. You can chop it there and spoon.
Yeah, I'll do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, separately. Yeah? So here I'm adding the besan or the chickpea flour, enough to bind it. Do not add too much of chickpea flour, then it will be chickpea pakoda, not cabbage pakoda. So just enough to bind it. And I think I'm done with this. So there we go. So when we fry, the oil should not be too high, the oil should not be too low also.
My fries are
Remember that. Okay, we have 5 minutes since we. I'll just put the pakoda in the ready. You need to wash your hand. Okay. Here is goes the pakodas. Just try to bring the camera if possible.
yeah.
Just, I'm not pressing them too tight. I'm not pressing them too small. Just right temperature. Now I'll reduce the fire so that it doesn't burn up. The thing is, if it is too cold, it will break down the pakodas and absorb a lot of oil. If it is too high, it will burn from outside, not cook from inside. So like that, that is a challenge. That we have to adjust with a little bit of practice and understanding your pot, your stove strength. You can easily manage it. It's not a big deal. But practice is required. Like anything, requires practice. In chanting Hare Krishna requires practice. All that is very simple. So I think we're done. It will take 3 minutes to get cooked, 3 to 4 minutes. In the meantime, I'll take questions.
Okay. I'll need
Yeah,
to take my
yeah.
pie out. And let's see what you need to add.
So after adding the pakodas to the oil, I'm increasing the fire a little bit here. This paneer has to go into the chole here, of course. And chole also, I see a lot of thickness. I'll add water that I took out from the chole, into the chole now. And the herbs. Put the water here. This is from the chole, the water that remained. I'm adding it. And you can always add little ghee on the top of the chole.
Can I take the pie out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you're ready
Yeah.
for the question?
Yeah. Can we chop this too separately? So I'll try chopping coriander and and pudina. We didn't chop in the beginning because uh, we thought to give a fresh smell to the sabji. Okay, Prabhu, we are done.
We'll show the final pakoras in a minute.
Yeah, I'll show up the pakoda in a minute.
I
Prabhu, are you
can,
there?
I can do that if you have a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yes, I'm online and there's a question on the screen. When do we add amla powder to the chole?
When the tomato is cooked and the paste is ready. I don't know what to move. The camera is different. Yeah, when the tomato paste is ready, the oil or the ghee pours out. At that time, I add all the spices, powder spices like cumin powder, coriander powder. Turmeric I don't add because I want to get a blackish hue in the chole. So amla powder gives it blackish hue. Unfortunately, the amla powder that I got is whitish. They have processed it a lot. Looks like the powder. So the blackish hue that I was expecting, I didn't get. But in India, you can get it for sure. But still, it has come out nicely. It is good. Hanspriya, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I can't show you this one here. Thank you. I'll show you in the end, everything. In the end, in the chole, I have to add coriander as well as mint leaf. This mint leaf. That gives a very unique, nice flavor. And we have to adjust the salt a little bit in the chole because I have added 1 teaspoon. That's all. Now I'll take questions.
So we have this question here, Prabhu, if you can read it. Is there any substitute for amla powder if we cannot find amla powder?
Chana masala has pomegranate powder or amchur powder, like mango powder, dried mango powder. So those things are included in the chana masala. If you don't have chana masala, then use pomegranate powder, dried pomegranate powder, or which is very healthy. And this powder of amla, sorry, mango, dried mango powder. Usually tomato was not there in the chana masala in the traditional cooking. It has come up in the recent times, last 50, 60 years they're using it, maybe 30, 40 years, not even 50 years, because tomato is not considered so healthy. Whereas mango has a lot of good things, the minerals, vitamins, and many flavor. So like pomegranate is very healthy, one of the best fruits considered pomegranate for the it's still the digestive tract. So yeah, you can if you have access to such powder, you have to balance it in a way that doesn't become too sour, at the same time gives the flavor and taste to the chana masala. These spices, whole spices, cumin powder, coriander powder, are very essential. They give a base, the base that chole brings the taste, the base taste. Then this souring agents also give little flavor as well as taste. Amla powder, by the way, is the best I have seen. It's really good. One devotee in Bundavan told me about this. So it comes from Bundavan. And I have adopted it long time back. Okay. Nice recipes, nice detailed explanation of everything. Thank you, Hiral Mataji. Thank you, Hiral. It's really nice to.
Okay, you want to show
Yeah.
the program?
Yeah, I will take out the pakodas. It's kind of ready, but little more cooking is required. Any other questions? And be careful, guys.
One question which I had for you is that we had two tadkas for the dal. Any reason why we had two tadkas?
In pie recipe.
Oh, thank you for liking it.
So now you know the dal in the restaurants, they make this style. I have gone to many Punjabi dhaba places to learn things, and they make a small tomato paste. They keep it always ready. So what they do, they heat butter or ghee or depending on the vegan, some oil, then add the tadka, this tadka of mustard, cumin, potato, and chili. Of course, they use other things like onion garlic, which is tamasic, and we don't use in our cuisine. Therefore, this sattvic cooking is so important. We have to learn to bring out all the good tastes without losing any taste, and the health will actually be better with this kind of cuisines. Anyway, so they take all this thing, put a tadka. The tomato paste is always ready and kept it in a place. So they take a tablespoon of tomato tadka, tomato paste or something, put it in the tadka, put the dal, mix it together, and that's called that dal tadka. And our dal tadka is also similar. So we make the tomato paste, add it to the dal because anyway our tadka is ready. When we are cooking at one go, so mix the tomato paste which is nicely cooked. All has to come out. Then put the last tadka, and the flavor and aroma remains very intact in that kind of dal.
That's why you make two tadkas.
Yeah. Ananga is saying thank you for the seminar. Such a good recipes of making everything so quick. Yeah, thank you. So actually, we did preparation. Usually, people think preparation may take a long time, so it is not really one. It's not like that. You can just put your chole and dal while chanting your rounds and cut little vegetable takes 10-15 minutes. And once that is ready, your real time cooking is less than 60 minutes actually. Because we are running around a little bit here and there because of camera and all, we can focus. Otherwise, 1 hour. We did it actually in 1 hour.
That was a great job, Rahul, definitely. One thing that I wanted to request, is it possible that we can have a little bit of a close-up look at everything? Like you can just focus the camera so we can just see the chole, especially the pie. I think the pie has attracted a lot of interest. Everybody's really wanting to see the pie. It's
This is the
delicious.
part. Okay, now.
And actually, do you know, when it cools down, it will settle in, and then you can do like a topping with the powder sugar, or you could do with the caramel and ice cream. You can just go wild as you like. I mean, as you want to offer to the lordship. So as your mood, you can just decorate it.
So pakodas are frying. So this bubble is coming out is important that all the water particles goes out steadily so that it becomes crispy. So here is a pulao. So I will add a little of this coriander here. And if you want to add, you can add a little more ghee at this point. And I'll give it a stir here so that you can see the rice is all kula kula. Good amount of vegetables. So this is like a meal in itself. This pulao, the vegetable has all floating up, so it came up. So you may be thinking all the vegetables are there, but no, rice is also there. Mostly rice, vegetables are here and there, and this pulao will actually like a meal, as I said, and you need to give it a stir at this stage. If you don't, the rice that is lying below will all stick to each other, and when you are serving, it will become a mess. So at this point, you need to stir it good bit before you serving it out. So all this rice from below, I'm taking it off and give a little stir so that they become kula kula. I mean, all the rice grains separate from each other. Yeah, here it goes.
Even
And we leave it for some time like this. Okay. Don't cover it at this stage. Just leave it open. Okay. Now I'll get back to the chole. Here is our mint leaves. I'll just cross them nicely with my hand.
fragrance comes on.
Fragrance comes out. Yeah. A little bit of coriander leaves also here. Depending on the strength of the mint, we add the quantity. If it is too strong, don't add too much. If it is too mild, you may need to add a little more. In West, the mints are really fragrant, so I'm adding this much only, not more. You can see the paneer has become automatically very soft and tender. It's very soft and tender. And this will go really good with your bhatura, chole bhatura, and a little bit of pickle you need. So this I have learned in Delhi, by the way. One of my Punjabi friend also helped me. And as I said, this Gunda devotee told me how to make the. Okay.
Mention
And finally the dal. I'll get back to dal now.
for our preparation because this is in special of for Krishna. So as our viewers can see it, that we have this feast here ready under 60 minutes. Chole Amritsari with paneer, tadka dal, pulao, pakodas are frying hot, and we have a pie ready. So just one question, Prabhu, that we want to remind our viewers also that this feast is for offering to Krishna during the Janmashtami night, because all the devotees would obviously be fasting from grains on that day. So, how would you suggest that after offering to Krishna, how does one keep the offerings? You can freeze them, would they stay well, like the chole, the rice? Or if the devotees would want to have it the next day, noon after Nandotsav.
The standard cooking food, the food according to Ayurveda, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says sattvic food has to be. Krishna doesn't speak about sattvic food timing, but he speaks about tamasic food. He says any food that is more than 3 or 4 hours becomes tamasic. Even the ingredients are sattvic, cooking is sattvic, everything is sattvic. But if it is kept for more than 3 or 4 hours, the food becomes tamasic. Unfortunately, that is the fact. Why? Because tamasic food destroy. Tamas means destruction, ignorance, destruction. That food will destroy our body gradually. So therefore, that food is not recommended by Krishna himself. But as Krishna says in Gita, if you offer anything with love and devotion, not anything, patra pusam phalam toyam, sattvic food, with devotion, then I accept. When Krishna accepts, it becomes prasadam. Uh, Now, because it is Krishna's Mahaprasad, therefore, spiritual value is never diminished. With time, in fact, time like love should increase. Love increases the time with more and more interaction. Similar with Krishna interaction, the food has become more potent, and with time, its potency doesn't go down. So therefore, even if it is a little late, people still honor it. But caution is met. Honoring are different ways. Like even we're expecting like this is also honor. In the heart, we should honor Krishna and his Mahaprasada. But it's spoiled. Funguses have come up, and some even you can see some worms coming out. So after some time, if it is like that bad, it is. I would not say to eat it, but honor it with a folded hand, with all of respect, and put it where it can be consumed by other living entities. Uh, but
Share it to your neighbors.
but those are very highly advanced, very pure. They don't mind. Even we hear the story of you know, Madhavendra Puri, he was actually eating the clay pot. He was breaking it down, eating every day a little bit, but a little bit he was eating, not in the whole clay pot, but little bit he was eating so that it can last longer. That was his idea. But anyway, my point is beyond 3 4 hours, it is not good, not healthy. So even if it is prasadam, please serve fresh and offer it to Krishna with all of devotion, and have it within 3 4 hours time. That will be the best. So here is the pakoda. Uh,
Okay.
Normally, we don't allow anybody to see things before it is offered, but today it's a class. Usually, they cook with a lot of attention and without any diversion. Nobody is allowed in the kitchen. Especially the kids are not allowed in the kitchen because kids are innocent. They just look at the things, little desire to eat, which is not good because they're cooking it for Krishna. So, in the Vedic kitchen, a lot of standard is maintained, clean, pure, and kids are not allowed. So only the cooks cook in Jagannath Puri. Cooks cook, and even the pujari is not allowed in the kitchen. The pujari who is offering to Jagannath, they're not allowed in the kitchen because if they come, things will be contaminated. They say that's strict. So the cooks is cooking for Jagannath. It is taken to the altar, and there pujari comes. Pujari in the altar cannot think of eating, right? So the pujari gives the offering to the Jagannath. So in that way, the sanctity and purity of the food is maintained throughout.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for offering these insights. I think that's what makes this session so much more special because not only we did talk about the cooking, but we also have this whole element of Ayurveda, holistic eating, and all these little tips about this whole explanation about amla powder, adding a little bit of ginger, balancing your vata. So thank you so much for those insights and. We also want to thank our viewers. We had a lot of devotees
Yeah,
actually
from my
join
side
this.
also. A lot of thanks. It's okay.
So our special gratitude to all our viewers. Thank you so much for being with us. And also our gratitude to Hansapriya Devi who
That's great.
assisted Hare Krishna
Coming to
Hansapriya
this
Devi. Thank you so much
thanks.
for being with us in this session and helping
Yeah.
us through this. And also another gratitude to Shakshi Gopal Prabhu for all the technical support,
Yes.
facilitating the recipes.
Yeah.
So while you were cooking, everybody could actually read the recipes and follow it. So he was so much in sync with what was happening. So that was wonderful. We have a request from one of your viewers that if you could actually even have a Ekadashi feast. So that's a great suggestion. We can consider that. Uh,
Sometimes. Sure.
on the same note, I just want to also request our viewers that please, on the night of Janmashtami, please consider following fasting and breaking your fast with a non-grain feast, and you can have a grain feast after noon on Nandotsav. So, with this, we have crossed our 1 hour and 15 minutes mark on this sessions. Thank you so much, Radhavallabha Prabhu. That was wonderful to have you on this session. And we hope we can have a lot more cooking sessions with you because our viewers have really enjoyed having you here. And we're so happy that we started off hearing about your recipes from this Janmashtami Hope Feast under 60 minutes. For our viewers, I would like to mention that this and the earlier video where we talked about the menu, the preparation, and the ingredients. Both are available on the GBC SCT page on Facebook and on YouTube. So anytime that you wish, if you want to try the recipes again, you feel free to go back on the page and just view the recipes or share it with your friends. Thank you very much for being with us. We wish you all a very happy Janmashtami cooking. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Parijat, Mataji. Thank you for hosting, and thank you for. I hope your health is good now. You had fever last time.
Actually, feeling so enlightened today, seeing all the cooking. I think we just feel in such good spirits, feeling so enlivened. I think we all are getting into that mood of festivity and getting ready for
Exactly.
Janma.
Exactly. Good mood is a. It is just good mood is secret behind good health. Yeah. So from my side, thank you, and thank you, Sakshi Gopal Prabhu. Thank you, the team, GBS Strategic team. It's a pleasure being with all of you and doing this service to help or before this to cook the Janmashtami feast. This feast, as we discussed, it is meant for Krishna. I think you need to mute yourself probably, Parijat Mataji. I think you have to mute yourself, Parijat Mataji. It's clashing. Yeah, this feast is for Krishna on the day of Janmashtami. We are fasting as much as possible, depending on age or health status or kids and different situations. But usually, generally, healthy adults, out of love and affection for Krishna, we fast for a spiritual progress, and we cook all these things just for the pleasure of Krishna. With that note, I wish all you a very, very happy Janmashtami 2020. And please come and join me and
Hare Krishna. Happy
wishing everybody
Janmashtami to
happy
you all.
Janmashtami to you all. Thank you. And thank all the audience. Yeah. Thank you, all the audience. So when you go offline, I'll quit.